Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about the clothing simulator app that Drew and myself have created. Let's get into it. So just a little bit about what the project is. This project is an immersive wardrobe game designed to be an interactive user experience. The user will be able to customize their own character's appearance in a fun 3D dynamic environment. And the goal is to offer a way to explore creative expression in user interface design. Just a little bit of what the environment would look like. The environment will be a large area simulating a personal space like a bedroom with a view of the outside. The space will contain a wardrobe or a closet that serves as a central point for customization. You would go up to the closet to change clothes, and this setup allows for a Sims perspective with a camera that can be pulled back to view the entire room with a toggle setting. So here's a picture of what the person and the room look like. The camera is over his face, indicating a first-person view, which moves along with the character. However, there will be a setting that allows you to pull back the camera to view the entire room in third person, allowing you to see the outfit that the character has chosen. So movement is a big part of the game, and the character will navigate the environment using simple WSAD keys. For simple character movement, the view will be dynamic, as I said earlier, but it will start in the first person perspective. And when the user interacts with the wardrobe, the view will shift to a third person perspective, allowing them to see their avatar clearly and the changes they have made. So the goals, our primary goal is to create a seamless and intuitive user experience where we'll be focusing on implementing functional clothing selection system. This will ensure smooth character and camera movement, making sure the experience is both engaging, user-friendly, and fun. So when the user changes clothes in the closet, it will change according to what the user selects based on the scripts we have implemented. When the player presses a button or clicks an option, the script will instantly update the character's appearance by turning off the old one, iterating through the list of clothes, and turning each one of those off individually. Clicking a button will trigger a function in the script that sets the corresponding clothing item to active and all the others inactive, as I was previously saying.
So going to our project, this is what our scene looks like. As was mentioned, we wanted the environment to be a bedroom in an apartment or in a city. So you're in this apartment here and in the middle of the city, and we kind of wanted to make it look like you're in the city just to give a little bit more of like a lively, bright feel to the game. The way I was able to do this was I went to the Unity Asset Store and I was able to find a city skybox, so I just imported that, added that as the skybox, and got rid of the plane, and so it was able to give this cool feel like you're like in this big tower and looking into the city. So the way we were actually able to create the bedroom was using ProBuilder. When we downloaded ProBuilder, it was able to be used as a tool within Unity already, and we kind of use this instead of something like SketchUp or Blender, just because it was already a feature within Unity, and also we were able to see that there's a lot of features that ProBuilder allows for. It's really useful for selecting like faces and just making kind of complex types of structures. That's what we ended up doing. So going into the actual game, as was mentioned, this was shot from a first-person perspective. So if I was to build the game here, yeah. We can use the WASD keys to kind of move around and navigate yourself here. You can use the mouse to look up and down. There is a little bit of like kind of like a weird perspective here. If you look down, you can see your own body, and there is a little bit of like a glare, I believe, here. But those are two things that we kind of want to work on, but we're not able to. So for the most part, yeah, you can look up and down and left and right to kind of navigate yourself here. So this is what the view looks like from the actual gameplay. Going on to the actual main part of the game. So we created this closet here where you can choose different clothes that you want to put on yourself, and we also have a toggle so that you can see what clothes you're currently wearing and what it looks like on your avatar. For actually selecting some of the clothes, you can put any of these items onto your avatar by hitting 1 through 9. So this coat or this hanger right here and this hanger do not have clothes because those are what the avatar is currently wearing. So um, so for selecting some of the t-shirts, for example, if I was to hit 2, that would put on the second t-shirt, and it would also put back the t-shirt that's currently on my avatar. So I would also be able to do this for the other clothes. So if I wanted to put on the third t-shirt, or the fourth or fifth, I could do that as well. So you can go back and hit T to toggle a third person point of view and see what that t-shirt looks like on your avatar. So um, this also applies to the codes. So these are labeled 6, 7, 8, 9. So I currently have the 6th code on. If I want to hit any of the others, I would just hit that button, and I would also be able to see what it looks like on me. So yeah, so if I want to hit, try a different combination and put this on and see what this looks like, I would be able to kind of mix and match and try different articles of clothing on. One thing that me and my partner kind of struggled with was trying to come up with realistic effects for the clothes. So we have separate prefabs for the actual clothes and for the hanger. And so the clothes, we wanted it to kind of drape over as if it was, a real article of clothing and kind of like bent to gravity. The actual clothing or the prefabs are kind of, the arms are stretched out like it would be on the character. To actually get this effect, we use a capsule collider on the hangers, and we used separate hangers for each article of clothing. So for this article of clothing, for example, we were able to match the capsule collider to this specific this piece or this asset over here, and we were also able to add a cloth component to each article of clothing that would kind of make it seem like it's folding in on itself a little bit or folding down. And yeah, we also use the paint area here to see like what areas are affected by the capsule. To reflect on this project, we're really proud of what the mechanics look like in the game. We got a lot of the base functionality involved, so we're really proud of what the animation looks like when we select clothes, and that all the basic components are there that you can put clothes on and customize your avatar. That was kind of the whole point of the game. But I think there's definitely a lot of things that we could have improved on as well. So I mean, for starters, I think a game like this, there could always be a lot more like components to it. So I guess even this room does feel kind of empty right now, and that's one aspect that we definitely could have continued to improve on. Maybe add more features, make it seem a little bit more filled up as an environments. Another thing that we really wanted to do was to add selections for your pants as well as your upper body clothing. We just weren't able to do that in time, but the last thing was to also add audio. One idea that we had was to maybe add city noises. So for example, like cars or like traffic, or people talking. That was an idea. Possibly adding noises or audios for the door or when you select different clothing. And yeah, overall we're still really proud of how this game went and what we were able to create. To wrap up our presentation, these were some of the packages that were really useful when we were creating our projects. And yeah, thank you for taking the time to listen through our projects and look at our game.